Welcome, beautiful people, to my channel. It's your girl Positive Vibez Des, better known as Des Bless or just Destiny. And in today's video, I wanted to welcome you guys back to another Wellness Wednesdays. And as you can already tell by the title, we are getting into some more wellness, this time specifically focusing on environmental wellness. Environmental wellness, what is that, you ask, and how does that have to do with, me functioning and being at peace and balance with self? Well, environmental wellness focuses on your belonging, connectivity, and harmony in which you have with your environment. And in the realm of environmental wellness, it focuses on two, categories of environment, which is your outer environment. For us, it's planet Earth, right? Nature and all that it has to offer. And then your, inner, your more closer environment, which is your day-to-day things that you interact with, whether it's your neighborhood, work environment, if you're in school, your school environment, and your actual home environment, right? So I mentioned your feeling of belongingness, connectivity, and harmony in your environment, right? So what does that actually look like? Are you, out and connecting with nature, or being kind to the earth, whether it's like not littering, something so simple as not littering, or doing what we can to be eco-friendly, right? That is that connectedness, that harmony, and feeling of belonging to the planet in which we live in, right? And I know we all sometimes can be guilty of dropping a little something on the ground, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, but just trying to be aware of those things. And if you can ever have the opportunity to do your part and clean up the trash in your neighborhood, or doing drives that's gonna help enrich your neighborhood, that is how you can have that belonging, that sense of harmony in your neighborhood, right? I know everyone's neighborhood is different, there's different levels to it, but also feeling safe and comfortable in the neighborhood in which you live is definitely important. Like, are you always on edge when you're walking in your neighborhood? Do you feel comfortable? Do you know people? Or is it just kind of like everyone for themselves? And imagine, right, if you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe, or you're always on edge all the time, I can imagine that you either don't go out that much, or when you do, it's very quick, can be a little anxious provoking, but that's where that trying to find that environmental wellness comes in, and being in a neighborhood in which you enjoy. Now, in regards to your work environment, again, it's just thinking about how, are there any stressors, or is there anything that you're doing to contribute to the stressful environment, or is there any way that you can change your environment if it is causing you stress, if you don't have that sense of belonging and connectivity to that environment. So if at work, sometimes work can be stressful, right? And that's typical. But if it's like a fast-paced environment, and that's not your type of, that's not how you function, you cannot function in a fast-paced environment, then maybe that work environment is not going to be one that's conducive for your overall wellness, because every day you feel stressed because everything's moving 1,000 miles per hour, right? And thinking about how you can, feel good about your work environment, even if you don't love your job 100%, or love, your work environment 100%. If it's like one that's super negative, where everybody's talking about everybody or something like that, and anytime you go to work, you're going to be bombarded with the negativity. Like, how do you separate yourself from that and create that positive, effective, and harmonious work environment where there's no drama or, again, added stress? And then in regards to like your personal at-home environment, right? Is it always chaos at home? Do you have your space and place in your home where you can just zen out and kind of have your peace and quiet and kind of refuel? Whether it's your bathroom, whether it's a corner in your kitchen, like whatever or wherever it needs to be. But having your home environment have that harmonious feeling connected and belonging within your home. And again, everyone's situation is different. So sometimes people have no choice but to be in a chaotic home situation because, you know, that's their situation for that moment. But what I would suggest for those who kind of don't have any choice but to be in chaos is, like I mentioned earlier, find that space and place where it can be just your peace and quiet, or just your place where you can feel grounded, centered, and escape the chaos that's going on around you. And even like have your home environment feel homey, and put things in there that you like. Put things in your home that kind of make you feel good, whether it's like things that you can put in your home to like invigorate all the senses, whether it's smell, well, taste. You can't taste the air, but if you have a scent that, you know, it smells like a fruit or whatever, you can imagine that you're tasting the fruit. Things that, you know, that are sensational to the touch, whatever it is, but putting those things in your home that's gonna make your environment feel comfortable and fit you and what you need, right? Again, because the whole goal of wellness is to find that peace and balance in all areas of life. And if you check out right up here, you'll see my wellness playlist that I go into depth each dimension of wellness and give you guys some tips and pointers on how to incorporate those different areas of wellness. But if you've been following along with me over these past couple months, each wellness video that I do, you can see how each of them kind of really play into one another, because, you know, if your environment is not well, or, you know, it's not functioning at its best, I can imagine that it will impact your physical wellness, right? If you don't feel safe to go out in your neighborhood, right? And you can do physical exercise or whatever inside your home, but let's say if you want to go for a walk or jog and you don't feel comfortable doing that, then those two areas of dimension, if you know your only option is to go outside to do exercise, then those two areas are off, because A, you don't feel safe in your neighborhood, so their environmental wellness is not doing well, and then your physical wellness is being impacted because you're unable to like really get out there and do the physical activity that you want to do. So just keeping in mind that all of these dimensions do play into one another, and being able to like really take the time out and sit down and think about, okay, where on these dimensions of wellness am I feeling the most off, or, you know, what needs some adjustment, which one is impacting the others, and kind of just really working through targeting those areas so that you can kind of get to that side of mental health where everything is flowing well and, you know, you're feeling your best. So with all that being said, I want you guys to stay tuned. I have one more wellness video to go, which we will then be focusing on emotional wellness, and then we'll tie it all together. And then moving forward, I'll be sure to try to be innovative and bring you guys more wellness content that focuses on how you can like implement and do these things and just kind of feel good and really work towards building up a life that is intentional about getting to your best self or your wellest self. I want to hear from you guys, right? With environmental wellness, is that something that you actually pay attention to, and how do you work to or can be intentional about getting involved with your environment, feeling that connectivity and harmony in your environment? Let's get a conversation started down in the comment section below. I'd love for us to talk about it. But with all that being said, I want to thank you guys, and I hope that you've learned, can apply, and share the knowledge with someone else. And I hope that you guys are subscribed. And once you guys do hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on your post notifications so that you are aware of every time that I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and do know that I am always wishing you peace, love, and light.